Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? Welcome back to What's the Damage, and this is the segment where I have to really try to hold my marbles, not to get pissed and, wreck my whole entire house and, do the things with the stuff and, rip off my pendant, my necklace here and swallow it and then crap it out later with the anger of my hatred. So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about a very tender topic, something that I don't think I've ever addressed on this channel, but I should have a long time ago because I'm a gamer. I should have talked about this a long time ago because I do play a lot of games on this channel, and also outside of it, just for entertainment, and to relax and stuff, and the title of the video probably already gave away what it's going to be about, but I'm going to be talking about the gamers, hidden knitting circles, where we actually take all of our free time away from games and we actually knit a bunch of really cool stuff, scarves and all that, wait, that wasn't the title, was it? Okay, now let's actually get really into it, okay? No more red herrings. Why exactly do gamers feel the need to sometimes break their controllers, okay? I have my Xbox One controller right here, and as you guys can see, it is in very, very good state, it's very intact, and I actually have two, and they still look as good as the day that I bought them, but the thing is that, I really hope that it stays this way, because my Xbox 360 controllers, which I unfortunately don't have to show you guys, they looked a little different. They didn't exactly look like this. I really love the Xbox controller. They just look good, don't they? It's such a sexy controller, even upside down. I'm sorry to be such a fanboy, but man, freaking love my controllers. But anyway, so my Xbox 360 controllers and also my PlayStation 2 controllers back in the day, they suffered a different fate, Now, back when I was a youngster, my parents obviously bought, well, my dad mostly bought all of my gaming stuff for me. He bought my controllers, the equipment, the consoles, the games, all that stuff, whenever I wanted. So that made me sound like such a spoiled brat. Yeah, whenever I wanted, my dad bought me stuff. But yeah, but here's the thing. When I started becoming a little older and playing games that were a bit more challenging, I started to realize that, there is this thing called rage. I was exposed to rage for the first time. I do believe it was with Dead or Alive 4 on the Xbox 360, that fighting game, and I think that was the first time that I really got exposed to that, mostly because I started playing online. With the Xbox 360 was the first time that I started playing online against other people, so it started to make me feel very angry, and very competitive too. And I'm the kind of person who you might have noticed with some of my gameplays, but I really don't like to lose. I really don't, even though I'm aware that it's a part of life. We're not gonna win everything, but I really don't like losing, and I've had this thing inside of me ever since I was a kid because I'm an only child, so I didn't grow up with a brother, younger or older, so it's not like I had somebody to share anything with, so I've always been very competitive, and because there was nobody there to share this competitiveness with, I just grew up always wanting to be the best, I always wanted to come first and I hated losing. But when I started playing online with the Xbox 360, things started to change a little bit more, and as I played harder and harder games, both online and offline, I started to feel a little bit angry and losing control of my emotions. Now, here's the thing, guys. We as human beings, it is very normal for us to lose control sometimes and do something that we regret, ranging from, I don't know, throwing your phone across the room to, hitting someone, our reflexes in times of anger, that's when they most flourish, and they're all over the place. And when you're a gamer and you're playing a really, really tough match, on a game online or something, let's say that for a split second you get really angry, and then you, I don't know, you're not in control of your anger. It just happens, and what are you going to do? Take the first thing that is closest to you and either throw it or smack it really hard against something. The controller. So when I was young, I used to do that a lot. I would take my controller, whenever I would lose, I would just slam it. I would slam it on my bed or on my wall or this, and I would even bite it, I would bite it and chew it. My Xbox 360 controller, one of them was actually chewed. It was, I bit it so much that it got chewed. You could actually see the internal parts, like spinning and stuff, My parents had to wrap duct tape around it, and obviously I did get in trouble at one point for that, but it's just, I actually punched my wall once, you know, my dad was really pissed, and it's crazy, man, because we were not, it just happened spontaneously, you know, and of course, looking back today, I of course regret it, you know, because if I break one of my controllers today, well, each one of these puppies cost about 300 reais here where I live, so if I break one, I'm screwed. So I have to try to keep a level head and relax whenever something like this happens, because the urge does rise. Now, obviously, of course, it's not the controller's fault, you know? The same way that it's not your phone's fault if something happens and you just throw it across the room and it hits the wall, you know? Sometimes you just get angry and you gotta take it out on something that's already there. I actually have a habit now of just stopping what I'm doing and I immediately fall to the ground and do push-ups. Fall to the ground like I fainted. I get on the floor and I do a few push-ups. You know, I take that anger and I vent it out in physical exercise, you know, or I put my controller down, I get up and I walk around my house a little bit, you know, I flex and stretch and crack my bones, you know, I go and get a drink of water, I wash my face, I do something, you know, I eat a whole bunch of sugar in one sitting, you know, like I'll probably die a diabetic one day when that happens, but the point is that I try to do something that relaxes me, you know, in that immediate moment, and then just like come back in 5 or 10 minutes feeling a little bit refreshed, and then boom, coming back again, you know. Now, I have been playing a lot of Cuphead recently because I'm starting to do gameplays for my channel. By the time this video comes out, it's not going to be posted yet, but it's going to be coming soon to my channel. And recording those Cuphead gameplays has been a journey, and you guys are going to see when they start coming out that it starts to get, the anger is very, very visible, you know, and it starts to get gradually higher and higher, and there are times when I gotta stop and chill. I haven't recorded gameplays for Cuphead in a few days because I just can't take it, you know, but I'm going to be coming back obviously at some point, and you know, I think that we gamers do this not because we want to hurt the controllers, you know, but because it's a reflex, you know. Oh god. Now, if you're fortunate enough to live in the United States and you are in, let's say, like a middle or an upper class family, basically someone who can afford to buy a lot of things, you know, like breaking a controller isn't too big of an issue for you, you know, unless of course you have just one, but really, honestly, who has just one nowadays, you know? Like I live by myself, you know, but I have two just in case a friend comes over and we want to play, and I actually record gameplays for my other channel with a buddy of mine, so I literally do need two controllers. But like the point is that, like, if you live in the US and you have a lot of money and you can spend it, you know, it's okay if you break a controller or an iPhone or a computer because you can just buy another one in the same day, you know. But me, for example, I don't have that privilege today, you know. I wish I had given it more value, you know, and not taking it for granted back when I did have it, when I was still living in the US. And because today I live by myself and I have to work and pay my own bills and buy whatever I want to with my own money, I understand now that it's a much bigger investment, you know. So I know that if I break one of my controllers, then I'm screwed, you know, but it will be a lesson learned. But I hope it never happens, because honestly, I'm just fortunate to have an Xbox One. It took me 3 months salary, you know. I saved up money for 3 months before I bought it, so I'm very grateful to have it. I'm very, very fortunate, so I have to try to remember that whenever the anger rises and I have a controller in my hand, you know. There are instances, if you guys want to look, if you guys have the time, go on YouTube and look up gamers breaking TVs or something, you know. You're gonna see that there are instances where like somebody is playing with the Nintendo Wii, you know, which, let's be honest, was a really rage-inducing console to begin with, and then something happens, you know, and then they take it and they throw it at their TV, then it breaks the TV, you know, and sometimes somebody just punches the TV out. Like, what the hell did the television do, you know? I don't understand, but it's just really stupid, man. It's really stupid, you know, but it is still a reflex, you know, so that's just the way it works, you know. People just, I don't know, we have emotions that sometimes we lose control of, so I don't know, man. That's the only justification that I can give to why it happens. And I have suffered through this a lot, you know, but it's actually the reason that I don't play hard games, because I know that I'm gonna rage and get really angry, and there's a bigger chance that I might break a few controllers, you know. And also because I suffer from anxiety, so I literally can't stress myself out too much, or else I'll have a panic attack. So yeah, it's just something that I would prefer not to get into, you know, the territory of hard rage-inducing games. But I am playing Cuphead on this channel. It's an exception. Cuphead is amazing. I love that game so much, and I have already beaten it once, so why can't I do it again, and this time for YouTube? But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really curious, you know, to hear your own stories. You know, if you happen to be a gamer, there are a few people who are into gaming, who are subscribed to my channel. You guys leave comments sometimes when we talk about games and stuff. That's really cool. And now if you happen to come across this video and you made it to the end, I want you to tell me in the comments if you've ever suffered from this. Have you ever broken a controller or come close to breaking a controller? If you have, tell me what game you were playing. I'm really curious to know what game caused you that much rage for you to throw a controller across the room or smack it or bite it like I used to do, you know. I have really strong teeth today because of that actually. But anyway, and of course make sure to give this video a like, and if you happen to enjoy it, then subscribe to my channel because I post videos literally every single day, sometimes one, sometimes two, and you never know what time I'm going to be posting, so it's good to hit the notification bell to know exactly when. So that's it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always I will see you guys in the next video.